Hey, it's only Pinball. I thought we were pals. Go ahead, try and hide. You ain't seen the likes of me.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the channel where I talk and do everything pinball. And today I'm going to interview with Andrea Pedretti through Pedretti Pinball. And we're going to be talking everything Funhouse Remake. He merely just announced this game officially and revealed it to everyone last week. And there's obviously a lot of questions from those of you out there, especially ones that already own an original Funhouse. You're like, is this something that we should upgrade to, or what's going on here, kind of thing. So there's a lot of questions that I wanted to see if we can resolve a lot of the hesitancy and the curiosity by asking a slew of questions. And we're just going to just rapid fire here to get all the information, hopefully, that you could need. I've got stuff from the public as well as stuff of my own. So how are you doing today, man? How's it going?
Hello to everyone. Hello, Cary. I'm fine. I'm fine here in Italy in our building facility, building games as every day, and we are doing well. And yes, we have this new amazing product that we are working on. This new remake and call it Funhouse that more or less now everyone know. And yeah, it's going well in this people world.
All right, that's I think people are starting to get to know your name, Pedretti, and stuff like that, but you're still kind of like new to pinball, wouldn't you say? I mean, like how many years exactly have you really been doing stuff with pinball?
Well, our company is pretty old kind of company. We was in this business from the 70s, and it's a pretty long journey, we can say, for our company. We started from arcade and jukeboxes here in Italy, and now I think now it's 12 years that we do pinball related stuff like pinball parts and pinball kits for the 2.0 kit. And now we have started the building a building facility for the production of a physical game, and with the APC, that is the name of the building facility.
Okay. I mean, and so you mentioned like the 2.0 kits, and I mean, are you going to continue to produce those? And there's also the question from people that have the early adoption kit for like the Rudy 2.0. I'm guessing there's an auto plunger involved in that, and I'm guessing they're curious about what's the status on getting that.
Yeah, we are working on the 2.0 kit because we have plenty of requests from owner of these System 11 games, and it's not an easy task because you have to do quite a lot of different things in one time, like new audio, new code, and this kind of stuff, and new hardware that is not so easy to make for this for the Funhouse and for the Whirlwind kit, and maybe for the next kits. And it's I'm not saying no that we are not going to make it anymore. I'm only saying that maybe not this year, but maybe next we can have a new one that is going to come. That is our new approach is to do something more related to the game, like what we are doing with the Funhouse Remake, doing a 1.0 and 1.5 game code that is more or less the same original game rules with some extension like the animation and the dot matrix style for the display, and maybe some enchantments for the adjustment, and some more game mode. We can say that for the next game kit, but I'm not going to reveal anymore. Nothing more. Yeah.
That's fine, but like back to the auto plunger, I just wanted to get a solid answer on that. So those are still going to be created and made for people.
Yeah, from our side, what we did on this kind of product for the auto plunger, we did everything related to the code. We are waiting for one of our partners to produce the physical hardware, the physical auto plunger to put in the game. And that's all from our side. We are more than happy to support this kind of product because I think a lot of customers complain to us because there is not an auto plunger available for that for our kits. And we are more than sure that is coming and is coming soon.
Okay, so like, I mean, I guess some people know a little bit about it, but they don't know everything. So, what is the relationship between Pedretti and Pinball Brothers?
Well, Pedretti and Pinball Brothers worked together to manage to produce the first Pinball Brothers games like Alien and Queen, and the next one. We worked together to build the facility for the assembly of the pinball machine. And APC is a sister company with between Pedretti and Pinball Brothers, and we share the assembly lines, and that is a more or less a win-win for everyone to reduce the cost for the facility and for the cost related to the final end customer. We reduce the cost for the machine, we can say so, and this is why we can produce our game at a really fair, good price from my point of view.
Yeah, well, especially when you're overseas. I mean, we typically see that when they're overseas, and by the time they get to us, and it's also vice versa when it comes to Stern Pinball and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's always more expensive for you guys because it's going overseas.
yeah.
So for you to give us the price range that you are offering, for being where you're at and having to access the parts where they're at, I mean, that is a little bit of like, wow, it's kind of like, how did you go about doing that kind of thing? When comparing to other manufacturers here in the States, it's obviously like, okay, how are they doing that kind of thing?
Yeah, and what we are doing with the Funhouse Remake for our product, we are not trying to save any money on the quality of the product, and any money are saved on the parts related to the game. Like all the parts that we are using in our game come from the States, and we are not using any sub produced in China parts in our product are all made in the US and made from the original companies that produced it for Bally Williams and for the other most famous pinball company in the world. That is what I think I want to make this really clear to our customers that we care about the quality of the product, about the value of the product, and we want to have that clear that we really care about these kind of things.
I mean, so I guess that kind of begs the question on why you choose to do remakes. I mean, you've got the 2.0 kits. I mean, a lot of people are like, we want original themes, and you've chosen to do remakes. I mean, so why is that?
Well, I think that our decision was to try to do remakes in a modernized way. And what we are going to, or what we are proposing to our customer, is to have two different way of purchase one of our remakes. The first one is to have a classic edition that you can have a more or less same as the original artwork and this kind of stuff, like the playfield artwork and the general looking of the game is more or less the same as the original game. And we wanted to make something modern for the limited edition, and we are working with some artist in the US that is called Brian Allen. I think you know him.
Yeah.
He's pretty famous, and we can say so. Yeah, and we wanted to do remix because we really was in love, we can say so, with some of these amazing Williams and Bally games, and we started 3 years ago trying to get the license to produce remakes, and well, we can say for some remakes. And after we got that license, we was looking into one of the most fun and iconic game to start with, and one of the most one is for sure Funhouse, and everyone loves Rudy, and this is why we started with Funhouse. First of all, because it's a super fun game, we was in love, and it's an amazing game to play, and I think it's one of the game that with a sort of modernized looking could be absolutely one of the best in every game room right now, in more or less in every game room. And the Rudy Mac is amazing.
All right. Yeah. I mean, like, I think Funhouse is definitely like a staple when it comes to like nostalgia for those that have been in the pinball hobby for a long time and stuff. And so I think, another one is Adam's Family. It's up there for people to immediately just recognize and have a memory of a particular game. So Funhouse being further back into the nostalgia than the 90s. And there's obviously further questions that kind of feed upon this. But it's like, and you already pretty much answered it by asking, when I was going to ask, why Funhouse was your first remake, so you already stated that, you wanted to go for something that everyone recognized and probably has a nostalgia for. It's pretty famous. And I mean, was there any kind of like particular like struggles or challenges in this whole remake process for those that think that this is something easy? I'm curious myself. I mean, what are some of the parts where we're like, man, this is going to be a bit of a job to do kind of thing?
Well, when you think about a remake and when you want to touch a so iconic game like Funhouse, you have to do it really carefully, or you risk to have a lot of problems when you are going to announce it. The really challenging stuff is to don't change completely the game in the limited edition. Try to modernize it, but don't make something 100% different. And because people want to, at least in the limited edition too, see Rudy and the Rudy face, the Rudy mech, and it need to play like a Funhouse. And these days, making a product like Funhouse and at a good price point is not so easy, because all the parts used in Funhouse, some are pretty expensive compared to what's like the Rudy Mac, for example. It's a quite expensive product to put in a pinball machine compared to what is included in a common pinball machine right now. And our classic edition is, we can say, the less expensive ones is loaded like the original Funhouse with all the mechs. We didn't have saved to do a display kind of Rudy face. We want to have the real Rudy mech in. This is why I think that the really challenging is to try to make it at a fair, good price point, with including more or less everything, and keep the quality in a really high standard. That is really, really challenging these days.
Like, so like does Planetary like have all the blueprints and they're able to replicate this, or did they have to create a whole new like molding or something of his face?
No, we have worked with Planetary because they have all the blueprints for Funhouse and more or less for 90% of the other games that are going to be more or less remake at some point. And we worked with they quite a lot on the blueprints, and we tried really hard to use the original molds, and we have tried to work with the original Bally Williams companies that have produced the original parts for Funhouse, for example. We have discovered that some are still in business, and we have asked today to produce for us more and more parts for have the Funhouse at least loaded with the 90% of the original Bally Williams parts. That was really, really more or less dogmatic for me.
Yeah, I think I saw someone was pointing out some of the differences in between Rudy's face. I'm guessing the eyebrow is a different shape a little bit and stuff like that. I mean, if you want to be really scrutinizing, I mean, I didn't catch that, but I haven't played an extreme amount of Funhouse. I've never owned one, so I wouldn't be able to just look at one and know exactly what is different. But one of the things that's definitely different by first glance, just looking at like your teaser trailer and stuff, is that instead of having a static panel that has a bunch of different bulbs to highlight, extra ball or stuff like that, you have an actual LCD display in there now. And so does that, and I think I saw in the trailer also that display isn't just static, it also does other things as well, right?
Yeah, it's replicated what is in the mirror, static mirror that was in the original Funhouse, and in the original Funhouse you have a sort of mirror with the bulbs, and in our remake we have a display that is a little bit more modern and give a sort of more we can say that we have tried to modernize the mini display and the bigger display in one more modern kind of product. And what we have wanted to do on the mini display is to give better looking kind of product compared to the piece of plastic in the original one. And this is why we changed the mirror from the original to this new display. And I think it looks more rich, a little bit less cheap than the original one. And yeah, this is what we did on that part.
Okay, I mean, like, I'm just trying to like just go through my head on some of the differences on the play field. I'm like, is there any other upgrades that you can think of that are on the play field to improve the player's experience, or just what you believe to be better in general? Is there anything on the play field that you could think of?
Well, I think that in general is going to place like a new kind of funhouse, and at least is not going to play like a 30 years kind of product. And for some reason, we can say that our funhouse is a sort of 90% exact replica of the original one, because we have used more or less all the same parts. What we have wanted to add and make a little bit difference is on the LE, because we have the inner blade that create a really cool light effect. We have the light PCB inside the Rudy head for the eyes that are integrated with the gameplay. And when you hit Rudy, he's going to have really red eyes. He's not so happy when you hit him, and and we have other cool features for the light show in the Translight, because we had some cool light show in the original and in the remake, in the limited edition too, because the original one was a little bit static in the back box.
I wanted to touch base on something that I think that a lot of people are hesitant on, and that is due to even just recent with a certain manufacturer that's overseas. That and like I said, a lot of people have not purchased a full game from you because this is your first full game. You've mainly done 2.0 kits, and now you're doing the whole process for Pinball Brothers and manufacturing that. But this is going to be essentially your first game under the Pedretti name. So there's obviously unfamiliarity, and people are like hesitant on sending money that direction, I guess, because they're not sure if they're going to get their game because there's no history yet with you. So I'm kind of curious. I mean, what can you say to help ease people's minds when it comes to the aspect of paying for a game and wondering when you're going to get that and stuff like that? I mean, what's the deposit and stuff like that like? I mean, what's going on there?
Yep, I get your question about the deposit, I think. And what we are doing right now, we are using some distributor in the US that I think are the most reputable one. We are using the Pinball company has a master distributor for our product. And what they are doing with the deposit is they are not sending directly to us deposit. They are taking from their side the deposit to I think is ask of kind of I don't know if you know, it's a they deposit all the money in this ask of account to the bank, and the money are not coming to us. All the customer money are in that bank account, and we are not taking any money, any deposit money. All of the production are paid by us, and we are producing game with our own money. We don't need deposit to survive, and we don't need money to produce games. We What we are doing right now, we have quite a lot of games on the assembly line without taking any deposit from customers. That is, I think, need to be pretty clear to everyone that our feeling is more or less the same as all the customers oversee about deposit. I'm not so comfortable to send money in deposit to a company that is 24 hours by flight or 12 hours by flight from me. And I don't feel comfortable to send money to a company that cannot give me a exactly timeline when I get my game. and I can understand that. I can this. It's a tricky situation right now in this pinball industry. But what we are doing is the more or less complete opposite from compared to other companies, and we care about the customers' money, and we care about the customer feeling on sending money to a company overseas these days, and we want to make clear that we are not taking any money from customers. That is pretty important. All the money are taken by distributors from their side when we give to their lead time for the game that are going to be shipped. They pay to us the game. It's pretty easy and
Mhm.
fair, to be
Mhm.
honest.
And I think a lot of people are going to respect that aspect of it. I mean, like you stated, when it comes to not knowing when we're going to get our game, that's always the big, you know. Okay, I'm okay with giving you money as long as I know I'm getting my game soon. But there's that whole like, how long is it going to take? So, out of curiosity, what can you answer on that aspect when it comes to delivery time? I mean, how long do you think it's going to take to get these games out? I mean, like, how many games per week are you like planning to be able to make?
Well, we are pretty happy about the sales and how the customer react to our announcement. And fortunately, we have quite a huge amount of sales, and we are super happy. And we say thanks to all of our partners for that, and it's really amazing. And what we do is we are going to give a schedule to our distributors to share with the customers, and we are going to give today a sort of 1 month idea. Well, we can give today a sort of a schedule of monthly games that they're going to receive, and they can give to the customers in an easy way, an idea on when they are going to receive the game. Like, if I pay today, when I get my game, okay, you have the number 26, my game number 26 that I'm going to receive from the end from Pedretti is going to be here in November. You are going to get your game in more or less November. That is pretty easy from my point of view, but I know that quite a lot of problems, the long wait list and the not really well communication from some companies to the customers is generate this kind of problems and this kind of question. What we are doing right now, what we are producing right now, we are producing the first 50 games that goes to showroom games and the early adopters customers. And after that, when we are in full production, we produce 120 game per month, and that is pretty a good amount
That's
for
pretty nice.
yeah, it is nice,
Mm,
yes.
yeah. Trust me, that's a lot better than some other people out there what they're able to do and stuff. I mean, and that's one thing that I've liked about you and I'm working with our relationship here is that you seem to be monitoring Pinside, you monitor the social media, you try to keep your finger on the pulse on what the customers are talking about, what they want, what they don't like, and stuff like that. So you already know by some of the decisions that you're making, you're like, no, we can't do that. People aren't going to like that. No, we can't do it this way because it didn't work out very well for that particular company. So you're learning from others' mistakes as well, kind of thing. And that's what I like about it also is that you've got that going for you. So it looks like you're going to be getting games out at a hopefully a pretty dang steady rate, about 120 games a month. Out of curiosity, though, I mean, are you doing a particular tier first? I mean, are you doing like all your LEs first? Are you doing all your classic editions first? I mean, how is that going to work?
What we are doing is we do 70% of the LE and 30% of the classic edition. And we start with more or less limited and classic at the same time in the assembly. And there is no long wait for both kind of customers. And because I think that the customer for the classic and the LE are pretty different kind of customers. For the classic edition, I think that's a more a nostalgic feeling kind of customers. And for the limited edition, are more customers that want to have something modern, but they like Funhouse in general because it's a really amazing game to play and super fast and super fun and really it's it's really it's really an amazing kind of character in the pinball world, to be honest. And yeah, we are doing 70% limited edition, 30% classic from the day one.
Okay, so that's good. So you're going to be able to hit, two different demographics pretty much simultaneously to keep both people happy so they don't feel like, oh, it's going to take a long time to get my LE or it's going to take a long time to get my classic. So that's also a good thing. And you got people that currently on originals. And now that you're doing the remake of Funhouse, are the parts that are being made by Planetary and everything, are those going to be readily available now since you're utilizing these parts? So if people need to bust a new part for their original Funhouse, is that going to be ready?
Yeah, I think what we are doing right now is for sure amazing for the new customers for the fun house that want to have a new, fresh new game. But from my point of view, it's amazing for the customers or for the people who have a fun house already and are a little bit concerned about the availability of some parts in the future. Because I think with our product, we have already remade the 90% of the parts included in every fan house in the world. And all the parts are going to be available for the next 5 to 10 years. That means that for the original customers or original owner of fan house, they can have parts more or less. I'm not saying forever, but something like that. And they don't have to be scared about if they break something because it's going to be available in the US and in Europe too, because we have a lot of partners here in Europe, and we have Planetary Pinball in US who is going to put all of these parts available on their website.
That's good to hear. That's always good to hear. And I'm going to assume that your remakes going forward is going to be pretty much the same thing. That the parts are going to be readily available for people who own the originals, kind of thing, because you're going to be using essentially original parts. Okay. So like when it comes to like, I mean, I think people need a better idea between the limited edition and the classic edition. Obviously, side by side, aesthetically, they're different because you have Brian Allen's artwork on the limited edition, and that's the big difference. But so, what are the other differences that people should be made aware of that you're getting with your limited edition that you're not getting with the classic?
In the limited edition, you have the shaker model. That is something that is super cool, and you have the inner blade that you. I don't know if you have seen, are super great and integrated with the gameplay. Are the light blade and on the side of the right and left of the panel, and we have for sure the new artwork made by Brian Allen. It is absolutely outstanding from my point of view. You have a different light show for the back box. That is something really different from the original one because you have more than 200 more LED in the back box that are going to be lighted the Funhouse title, and this pretty cool effect in real life. And you have the 2.0 game code directly pre-installed by us in the limited edition. Obviously, you have the 1.0 and 1.5 by default, like the classic edition, and and many other cool features like the armor trim with the midnight blue and other stuff like that. That's absolutely super great and make the game a great, really great looking product.
Okay, I mean, like, I guess that's something that we need to talk about also is that it seems even just recently, and we had the games at Golden State Pinball Festival, and it seems like people don't know how to toggle between classic 1.5 and 2.0 code. So, for those that are walking up to this game for the first time, how would they know what code they're currently on and how to change it?
Yeah, I have seen, and yes, we badly want to be at that show, at that festival, because we want to have some games on the floor to testing and get some report and feedback from customers and players. One of the best, the best feedback I think comes from one really great pinball player, we can say that, and he told us that it plays like a original Funhouse, or it plays like a Funhouse. And say, yeah, that is good. That's an amazing feedback from my point of view.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. Yeah, and
That's a compliment when you're making a game that's already been made. You want to make it just like it, and they go, "Well, it plays like the game." That's not an insult. That's what we were going for.
That is great. That's good. Thanks a lot. It's a really well appreciated kind of comment and feedback. But yeah, it's pretty easy to switch between games. You have to press the start button for 5 seconds, and you exit from the game that you are in. If you're in the 2.0, you go back to the selection menu, and you can select between the 1.5, 1.0, and 2.0. It's super easy. It takes 5 seconds to press. But
So
yeah,
you hold start for 5 seconds, and then you use the flipper buttons to toggle between which code. Okay. Is that somewhere on a card on the apron or something to tell people? I mean,
yeah, but we have written in the instruction card and in every game. But yes, I can understand that at the shows, sometimes it's not so easy to get this kind of information, and you go to a game and you just press start and play it.
trust me,
You don't-
I've walked up to plenty of new games. I got so much crap because I walked up to Venom and I was like, I don't know how to play it. And I'm like, I didn't think about reading the card in the apron. So I get it that a lot of people don't look down at the card and read how to change between different codes and stuff.
Yeah, I can understand that, and but it's fine. And our mission for that festival was to get some feedbacks and comments and have our games played all day and night, more or less. And mission was accomplished. We get a lot of feedback and a lot of plays on our game. I think in one of our game have something like 700 plays. That is pretty good. And for only one game code, yeah, and it's pretty good, and we are absolutely happy about that. But
I mean, typical for a game at Texas Pinball Festival is around maybe 500 to 600 plays for the weekend. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So to get over 700, then that's quite a bit of plays right there.
yeah, it's pretty great, obviously. But yeah, we got some feedback in that is really important for us, because we want to, when we go in production, we want to have a really, I'm not saying bulletproof, because bulletproof in pinball is really, really, really hard.
You can't do that.
And I cannot say that. I'm not going to say that, but at least something really, really more than tested. And we are comfortable to say that it's a good game and good to go. That is really, really important for us.
Okay,
Yeah.
so between the 1.0 code, the 1.5, and the 2.0, there was a question regarding, I'm guessing, the original code. Is Rudy still voiced by Ed Boon? I don't know why that would change, but I'm going to assume it's still Ed Boon's voice in the 1.0 code, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. The 1.0 and 1.5 is exactly the same game code with the same Rudy voice and sound effects. And the only difference between the 1.0 and 1.5 is the animation on the display. On the 1.5, you have the animation like DMD style.
Okay.
And that's all. That is the only difference that you are
Okay.
going to
And so
say.
and then the 1.0 code is alphanumeric, like the original kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like the original. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then someone asked, "Will Rudy eat the ball?" And I'm like, I would assume so.
Yeah, it's one of our.
You one up Jaws. Congratulations, you got Rudy to eat the ball.
Yeah, it's one of our hashtag too that really is eat the ball, and that is happening in our classic edition and in our limited edition. Rudy always eat the ball. Yeah,
So another question that someone asked was that, will it have the option for original audio, like mono or stereo OST on the code? So is it? I'm going to assume, this is just me from not honestly knowing. I'm guessing audio is always going to be stereo because now you have upgraded sound.
yeah, we have a stereo. Well, the output is we have two output. One is for the headphone and for the recording. Like if you want to have a stream on our game, and I see that a funhouse is missing from your line of the game on back of you, you can record it, your audio directly from the PCB, from the audio that comes from Fast. But yes, it's a stereo 2.1. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, and I guess everyone's always wanting to know about what's coming next. They can't really enjoy so much of what's going on now. So, in a little bit of what you have going on in the future? I mean, people are curious. Basically, are you going to continue what you're doing now with Funhouse? Like, is your next one going to be like, let's just say, I can't even guess because since I already know, but like they're wanting to know, is it going to be other 2.0 kits that you've already done? So is it like, oh, all they're going to do next is, Whirlwind, because that's a 2.0 kit. That's going to be the new 2.0 thing, and they're going to redo that one kind of thing. So I'm guessing they're curious, are you going to continue with the method that you have now for your next game?
Well, we can say that the method to produce classic edition and the limited edition in a modernized way at a really fair good price point, yes, that method is going to happen again for sure, for 100%. But we are looking to produce iconic games and the most valuable kind of games. And I'm not saying that we are not going to make other System 11, but obviously we have to look at what people want next, because we are, as I said, we are monitoring everywhere, more or less, on Pinside, on Facebook, and we receive quite a lot of emails and feedback from customers, and we have contact more or less daily with a lot of pinball enthusiasts from all over the world, and we care about the pinball community, and we listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like what I told people when they're always wanting to know what games are going next. I'm like, you think of your top 5 favorite games, and I bet that Pedretti's doing at least one of those on your top 5. I mean, because like just going by, the mass, polling across, Pinside and pinball enthusiasts that I know, and they list their top 5. I'm like, chances are that's on the list, kind of thing. I don't know when, but that's what kind of games they're looking to do. And so I think that's definitely exciting. People are curious about, what your first one's going to be like when it comes to quality and everything. Obviously, I'm curious about that. So I feel that if you bring out your games as quickly as you deliver to people and the quality's there, then I think that it's, especially with what you got in the works, then great things are going to be coming to the pinball enthusiasts out there. So, like, I'm definitely excited about some of the games coming and everything. Um, and I think I'm going through the questions here, and we've already kind of answered them just by casually talking. Let's see here. Okay. Well, let's do this right here. When it comes to like damage games, or if something does break on an individual's game, are they going to be contacting their distributor, or do they reach out to you directly?
Yeah, that's a really great question. That what we do and what we does in the past, we have our support channel. It's made by it's a fresh desk directly on our website. But what we do with our games for the remake, we are working with all of our distributors to try to make the first contact for every customer, because I really think that every customer, when something happens, they want to have fast answer to their questions. What we are doing right now is we are going to send a lot of parts directly to the distributors for these quick problems that happen. Okay, I don't know, my flipper bat is broken. Okay, it's not something that we do in general, that we don't give these parts under warranty. But obviously, if it happened after 10 games, we give this kind of customer a warranty, under warranty these parts. For the PCB, we do the same. We try to make all of these parts available directly in the US with our partners, with our distributors, and with the Planetary Pinball. If something happened that the distributor don't know how to fix it, because it's a really hard to fix kind of problem, we have our direct contact, and we have 3 people directly in the US who can help to do the troubleshooting and find the issue. That is really, really important for us, that the customer support and the customer service need to be top notch. That is really, really important.
Okay, and so like, if there's any kind of code updates that need to be done, that's going to be done through like your Pedretti website and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we are going to give every communication about the game update to our social media and our website, more or less everywhere. we try to spread out the word everywhere, because I think the game update is something that can generate some issue if some customer don't do the updates in the correct way. Sometimes you can make problems bigger, and some customer complain when they don't have updates, or where they don't see updates. But we just reply today, okay, but it's on our website, and you just have to scroll and download your update because it's already there. But yes, we are working really hard to make these things easier for everyone, and we are trying to improve our social media, our website, and make customers more comfortable with our way of working and with our way of doing this kind of communication.
Hmm. And so, like, people are curious also, I'm sure, that don't know this. Obviously, the boards that are going to be inside of your remake are not going to be your like old school Bally Williams big old mammoth boards. They run on a completely different system, and that system is the FAST system, FAST. So if there is possibly an issue and it's narrowed down to being part of the FAST system, is that going to be basically sent to them, and then people that own FAST are going to start talking to the customer for you? Or how's that going to work?
What we do with Fast, that is one of our partner in this project, and their electronics is more or less well known in the US for the homebrewers, and they have made other projects like for our other game that are in production right now. What we did, what we are doing right now, we are making a lot of documentation about the problem that customers can have, or if something can happen, or if they make some mistake on some connection after they touch something. And yeah, we have our fast partners involved in every issue or a problem, if they are high priority or high level. We are going to do the first contact, because if some issue are not so huge, or some really not so big mistakes, or some cable are inverted, we can help pretty easy our customers. But yes, fast are going to be involved in every troubleshooting from now on, and they are super, we can say that they are watching more or less daily every comment and every post, and try to improve all of their product more or less daily, because they care about the community, and they have already a community in the they fast for their fast product. And it's really really important, I think, for customer understand that all of this system is already tested from, I think, more than 3 to 4 years, and it's a well-known system in the community.
Okay, like, so I have to ask because I'm pretty much done with my questions with you, man. But like, when can we expect to start seeing these games coming into in the masses? When are we going to start seeing fun houses more and more around, whether it be on locations or whatever? When are you going to start shipping them over here?
Yeah, the idea is to start shipping from the next month to US the ERA games that are going to be, I think, are going to go to some public location and some early adopters customer that are going to give us feedback, because I think that the first games are really important to have some feedback about more or less everything, because it's really important for us to improve our product and improve our quality more or less daily, and forgive to the final end customers the best product as possible. And that is really really important for me and for Pedretti company. And but yes, I think from next month you're going to see quite a lot of Funhouse in US and in Europe too.
All right. Well, that's good to hear, man, because I think, it's obviously when you're creating something and you're behind it, you're that close to it. There's little things that you may overlook and sometimes it takes an outside perspective to take a look at something and going, "Hey, did you see this?" And, "Oh man, we didn't even notice that." You never know. So that's good that you're doing that, getting them out and just kind of just see if there is anything that you might have overlooked. So that's good to hear right there. Um, dude, I think we're about done here. I think we got a bunch of information out for anybody that's curious about purchasing this. So obviously, if you are interested in getting a Funhouse remake, then contact your local distributor. If you don't know who your local distributor is, then by all means, can they go to your website, Pedretti, to get that information?
Yeah, we have all the distributor information on our social media and on our website.
Okay. And so then just contact them and they should be able to take care of you and get you in line to get you a Funhouse remake. So, any final words that you want to get out to people and get them excited or ease their woes about this game or anything? Anything else that you need to say that people are starting to talk about? Get it out right now.
Yeah, we can only say that we can relax because it's only pinball, as Rudy says, and I think we are going to have some exciting news pretty soon about this project and the next ones.
All right. That's good to hear. Thank you very much for your time, Andrea.
Yeah, have a nice day
All right.
and bye.
Bye.